This is the Good Ride review of the Vans Verse, the Brian Iguchi Pro model. Tried to do it up on the hill, but man, it was just pissing rain most days at the end of the day, foggy, slushy, snowing, just very difficult to set up, pull a boot apart and film, so why not do it here under the pretty lights. To give you a quick summary, this is one of Vans' high-end, super burly, kind of like bulky on the sides boots, very stiff flexing, double boa, with a couple added features. You can see they really focus on waterproofing the bottom area. You know, rubberized toe, a little extra added waterproofing area right here to keep water from coming through. You know, waterproof zipper, and then a burly side. The sides are super stiff, so it's very good for side hilling. First off, this fits my size 9. I'm a size 9 on the Braddock scale, and I'm a D, almost E width-wise. So these boots fit me fine. They're kind of middle ground fitting. You know, in comparison to my Adidas Tactical ADVs, they're not as wide inside, and it's kind of medium width-wise. I would say one of the only drawbacks that I found is it didn't fit well in my union bindings in the heel cup. Most bindings, it's going to be a tight fit, so you might get some wear on the sides, but it sounds like they're prepared for it. They have double boa, but what I love about their double boa, and let me try to open this up for you here so you can kind of see, is when you do the bottom, the top is still loose. So you just got this kind of ankle wrap that comes around and back and kind of holds your bottom into place, and you can keep the top loose if you want to. And then if you want to tighten the top, you can, and it's just this area here. There isn't real overlap. So for those of you who like adjustability, the Vans is going to be more like this. For those of you who like that focus bow with the overlap, like this, these might not be the best, but I found that, you know, this type of lacing type holds your ankle in place really well. The J-bars in here seem like they're pretty mellow if you look this way, but inside here I felt them. And then you have this little X cage on the outside. Now remember, you can always add boot fitting foam wherever you want to make areas narrower, or add more heel hold inside, and you can put this on the liner or put it on the inside of the shell here. As far as comfort goes, I thought a boot this burly and stiff would just suck. But even the first day, after just a few runs and my feet heated up the inside of the boot, it started really conforming to me. And you know, sometimes the first day of a boot review, you just want to take it off. Like after like a half day, you're like, God, I'm dying. I finished the whole day on these, and the second day was pretty good too. So that was all that I had time for, because these boots arrived right before the end of the season. But there is good comfort here. You know, a lot of times coming out of my custom orthotic from Sansol and then into a demo boot with their existing liner, because I want to see how that feels, I was pretty surprised as to how well this held up. So there's a good comfort factor from the bottom of your foot all the way up to your top. And this liner, heat moldable of course, just seems to do a really good job. I didn't find any pressure points on the forward flex. The tongue felt consistent and even. You know, Vans knows how to build a boot around your foot really well, so they did a great job there. In terms of you know, the flex, it's very stiff, you know, very aggressive, and the response matches the flex. They've really put in a lot of flex retention technology. Just even from here, you know, you've got kind of like an open cell, kind of soft foam reinforcement up around here. You've got a little like almost like a plastic-ish laminate across the top here to kind of help with the flex. You can't really see it. It's very hard to get going in here, But if you put your finger inside, you'll see there's a little articulation point to improve the longevity of flex and give you a better fit. But then look at this burly ass reinforced back. And the shell just feels like it's of massive quality. On top of that, you can drop these down. They're a little tricky, but you can put these in and maintain the flex even longer, or start off the bat if you just want the stiffest of stiff, add that. So that's really cool. This boot seems like it's built to last, and it's a heavy boot too. This shock absorption is typical Vans shock absorption, maybe even a little bit less because there's a shit ton of rubber, because it's made for people who are going to be hiking and putting a lot of time on these soles instead of just walking through a parking lot. But it's still got that Vans thing in the front where there's almost no shock absorption, and then it kind of opens up into the back and you get a decent shock absorption off the back foot, and you've got great boot feel. So it just depends on what's important to you. Do you want shock absorption or do you want feel underfoot? And traction is just amazing. I just thought this rubber did well even when it was cold. The footprint is wide here, but not long. It's not much longer than my Adidas Tactical ADVs, and kind of very close to being on par with Burton, which is one of the most reduced. And on and off, it's like, you know, it's double BOA, so that part's easy. But you've got this lace, then you've got this power strap, and it doesn't really seem like it's the kind of strap that you want to put like here on the outside to give more reinforcement. It just feels a little easier on the inside, and it wraps right here to give you a little more reinforcement there. But it might work on the outside if you want to try. So putting this on and this strap, getting it on is a little more difficult than your average BOA, and getting it off is a little more difficult too, especially with this zip. This is a really recommendable boot, especially for people who split board or who drift board like I do. You notice, especially drifts, which is the same thing as split boarding, side hilling's rough with just your boots exposed there. And my Adidas boots that I rode all winter have kind of bent. They have lots of wear on the sides from all the side hilling I've done, probably like 30 days or more. So it's nice to have that reinforcement and to also have just a durable, responsive boot. So all in all, very good boot.